Hey guys, Iceplox here, and today I'll be answering why people play TF2, as some people from an outer perspective don't understand why people are still playing this game, and also as some sort of homage to show my deep appreciation for this game, as I feel like all I've done mainly on this channel was show its flaws. Now, people play TF2 for a vast majority of reasons, and I will be listing most of these reasons now in this video. Just as a quick disclaimer, everything I mention in this video might be wrong to you personally, as this is more of a feelings than factual video. And if you don't see the reason why you still play TF2 in this video, I would love to hear your reasons in the comments below. But I feel like I have a good idea to why people stay, as I myself personally have been in the community for 5 years. So, why do people play TF2? Well, the first reason to why people stay in TF2 is the community. Same could be said for why they leave it, as I feel like people within this community are generally overall very passionate about this game, more so than I've seen in other communities. Not to say that people aren't passionate about their games in their different communities, I just feel like in TF2 it's more prevalent. A great place to see the community's passion for this game is on YouTube, exceptions of course being people who are obviously milking it. Here on YouTube, people spread their ideas, concerns, and unique aspects on TF2. You can tell that there is passion behind this, for the game and for the community. Everyone for the most part gets along and respects each other, with some exceptions again. And that's why TF2 has not died yet, because with a weak community, your game will die out faster. So, since TF2 has been this active for 10 plus years, that says something about the community. You can just tell that people want TF2 to stay alive as long as possible because of how it has such a warming community and how it gives such a unique experience uncomparable to that of other games. Which brings up the next reason to why people play TF2, its unique gameplay. TF2 has many things unique to it, from the random shit that happens in casual games to the intense, balanced competitive scene, making it very hard for other games to give the same feeling to that of TF2. Sure, you can make something similar, but it will never recreate the magic scene within this game. Hell, this game practically invented cosmetics and shooters, and to this day no shooter even comes close to the madness of that of TF2 has. Where else will you see a lime green Devil Scout kill a banana enthusiast heavy? Now, more on casual, the amount of different things you can choose to do is staggering. You can choose to be friendly, try to do a wacky loadout, or you could just, play the game. Now, other games can only advertise 1 to 2 out of the 3 things I just mentioned, and this is casual alone. This is the beauty of TF2, being able to do almost anything you want, and that you are not conformed to doing a certain task. Despite there being an objective, people can still just have fun, and even somehow win. Just TF2 things. Now, the competitive scene is a whole different experience, from custom weapon bans, meta, movement tech, and the players behind it. You can see the amount of skill it takes to do certain things. Now, I don't want to get heavily into the topic of skill ceilings in different games, but I feel like TF2's is more rewarding and easier to get into, with then mastering taking a longer time and more skill. Now, this graph I am showing is based off of my knowledge and other people's knowledge on TF2 and Overwatch, and I made sure to get an unbiased opinion from both parties, and this is the conclusion I got to. But anyways, I want to get a little bit deeper into TF2's core gameplay, and a good way to do that is by looking at its many complexities. Complexities. TF2 has a lot of them, and it's for the better as it provides a lot of substance for players. The sheer amount of different outcomes and playstyles is staggering, from the wide variety of subclasses to the way you can choose to attack a situation, for the better or for the worse. And earlier when I talked about the skill ceiling being higher in TF2, a possible reason to why that is the amount of different encounters you can run into. For example, in these 2 instances, you're both the same classes, and the only thing being changed is the weapons equipped. With this only change, it could/would drastically change the outcome, as weapons heavily affect your playstyle in this game. This is also just a one-on-one encounter and not even the standard 6v6. From this alone, you can tell that TF2 is pretty complex. So with all of this considered, there will be a lot of different types of encounters despite if it's the two same classes fighting. This keeps the player interested, making him or her never feel like they're doing the same thing again. Because of this, it takes so long for TF2 to start feeling like it's getting repetitive, which keeps people playing longer, because a person wouldn't stay longer than 500 hours if the game was too repetitive. Another point to why this sheer amount of complexity is good is because of how it always gives you something to be better at. Because when you lose an encounter, you want to learn how you could have played differently. Died to that mini sentry last time? Bring a lock and load instead. Keep dying to that W plus M1 pyro? Learn to keep your distance. And there's so many more examples of what to learn, but I want to keep it simple and straightforward. Just imagine this. The core gameplay of TF2 is a nice, sturdy, thick bone, and the Complexities is the succulent, beefy meat surrounding it. Without TF2's amazing core gameplay, it wouldn't be able to support the large amount of content and complexities that we currently see on the bone. And with more of this addicting meat on the bone, the longer you'll be eating. Now, I haven't gone nearly in depth on Complexities, as that's its own video of itself. Funk made a really good video on this topic, and you should go check it out after this video, of course. But anyways, Complexities isn't the only thing that keeps people in TF2. TF2 is not only a game, but an expansive community. The sheer amount of different sub-communities that could be listed is staggering. Here's just a brief list. Trading, casual, competitive, MVM, SFM, YouTube, community servers, r/TF2, and many more. Each one of these sub-communities offers something different, so that if you get bored of one section of TF2, you have another to go to. And it's not like it's just something you can get quickly bored of either. Each one of these communities have a lot to do in them. For example, if you get bored of playing TF2, you could just move on to the trading aspect of it, which in itself is drastically different from playing the game. There's a whole new range of vocabulary and things to learn when it comes to trading. From negotiating to knowing market trends, this stuff is pretty similar to real-world economics. I personally started trading a lot when I first got bored of playing TF2, and it kept me in the game because of how I wanted to get better and, well, make profit. And this is just one of the different communities you could hop to. So if this doesn't show the amount of content that is in this game, then I don't know what will. Now I'm going to show off why some of my friends and fellow YouTubers play TF2, as I want to show as many viewpoints as possible and give an even further understanding to why people keep playing this game. So, what made you stay with TF2?
Why do I still play Team Fortress 2? And to that, I think it mainly comes down to this sort of aspect about the game that just makes it enjoyable to play in bursts. And also, there's other factors that play into this as well. Like, there's a sort of obligation that I kind of feel, where I know I have to play TF2 or at least use my heavy in other forms of media to just so that way I can retain my current character. That's like who I am, and that's kind of what I gotta do. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but, it definitely adds a level to complexity into why I like and dislike the game. But then there's also the core aspect of the game, and deep down, that's a solid game. It's a great game. But for me personally, I got some problems with the casual system and community surrounding the game. But at its center, it's a solid game, and I would thoroughly recommend it to anyone who has never played it before, albeit it's very hard to get into, but that's a whole separate topic.
When I first played TF2, I didn't enjoy it. I played it because that's all my friends played, but I was able to portray my personality using the hats and the videos I created with them. The game is amazing, but not based on pure gameplay, but it helped me find what type of person I wanted to be.
The reason I've played TF2 so long was there was so many things to learn about the game. And I think it's really a remarkable feat when there's a video game that doesn't just push the limits of what you believe a team-based shooter could be, but it also leaves enough room for creativity in the community to actually foster something new and creative. It went from being this collective team-based online game to a competitive scene, to having an active speedrunning side, to having an actual economy that fluctuates, to creating different game modes and custom maps, servers, everything. Not to mention community events and charities. I stuck with TF2 because it always had something to offer me, but eventually I think that the community stopped offering as much as it did, which took away a lot of the initial charm that it had. The community built the game up to what it is now, and although it's more a legacy now than it is anything else, it created something extraordinary, but not everything is always timeless. TF2 will always have a place in the walls of and halls of fame, I think, for video games, because it was a cornerstone for what the genre could become, but I think everything eventually starts to move on. I've stuck with TF2 for so long because it gave me what I needed in a time that I needed something. A great group of friends, fantastic game modes, great mechanics, and an engine that kept pushing itself past its limits.
I stay because I want to help the game live as long as possible, by informing people and by also having discussions on community issues. Why I want it to live so long is because of how it helped me through my personal rough times. When I had little to no friends and was having a bad day, TF2 would always be there for me to play. I remember spending countless hours playing those Minecraft trading servers and talking with the players in it. It was a way for me to forget what was happening in life and to just relax and to chill with random people I didn't know. It made me feel like I had more friends than I did, and I want to repay TF2 back for that feeling, as I feel like I would be doing TF2 an injustice if I just left it for the dust. And not only that aspect, but the gameplay it provided. Every second I played was fun and unique, and this was all free. If I got bored of one thing, I could just move on to another, because each part of TF2 has its own thing going for it. Yes, there may be occasional flaws, but overall, TF2 was always fun for me. And that's really important in a game, especially if it keeps it fun for so long. Hopefully, this video showed why you play TF2, and if it didn't, like I said in the beginning, I would love to hear why you do. Also, a quick thanks to my friends and fellow YouTubers for sending in your voice clips. It is very appreciated. Anyways though, if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe for more game related content. And as always, stay fresh. My Freshies, peace.